Hello, Abba. You're muted.
Good morning, Captain.
Hi, good morning. How are you? How was your
I'm doing
weekend?
great.
Good,
Weekend
good.
was really good.
Nice, nice. Super. So, how has it been going for you so far?
Interesting, actually.
Nice.
Learning new things about myself, others.
Okay. How's work?
Work is going good, Captain.
Okay, super. So, today is second session. Did you get time to go through some of the notes, pages, chapters in that book?
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay.
Till
How
chapter,
much were you able to finish?
till chapter 3, till page
Chapter
28.
3. Okay, page 28. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, the goal is my thing is more than teaching is because now we are looking at expert level, right? It's not going to be teaching like thing. Now it's like self-directed. I'm going to be giving you books, giving you guidance. We're reading and you're coming back with questions. You know what, this is conflicting with this. Which one should I go, which path should I take? One person is saying like this, one person is saying like this one I'm thinking like this. So that's the nature of the discussions with me. Okay, so that's how you'll become the expert enough, confident enough to coach someone else in the parenting domain, right? If it's going to be only me talking, then it's going to be restricted to little content, whatever I can share in 1 hour. My sessions with you is okay, you've done your homework, you come with me. Okay, what is their doubts and things like that? Okay, so coming back to the chapters, one is for questions. I will ask you questions. Second is keep one big journal, maybe buy yourself one A3 size book. That is
A3. Okay.
A3, A3. Okay, A3. A3 means yeah, 2 of A4s. You get a lot of these,
Quite big.
yeah, with spiral bound books, like art book also it can be because you can do some
Plain.
artwork.
Plain.
Plain. And because I want you to start putting your knowledge not just in text boxes, but also as mind maps, as something where you have drawn some bubbles and you've linked it to other thoughts here and there. It's not going to be a traditionally just making notes like college or something. Okay, mind mapping, sketching something, putting some thoughts, making some boxes, coloring it up, right? So colors also helps us to retain those concepts more strongly. So you can use those colors and things like that. So get into that. Whatever you have learned so far are going to learn, keep adding it to this book. So this become literally like a Bible of parenting for you, right? So anytime, even 5, 10, 20 years down the line, you can refer this research that you're going to do with me, and that becomes your, anytime you're in doubt, you go back to that. Yeah? So that is something you can do it. So coming back to this topics, right? Like in page 9 and things like that. You can also take a printout of the book. That would be my other suggestion.
Yeah, I think that will be good.
Yeah. Take a printout, bind it up, spiral bind it, or anything like that. Right. So it becomes easy reference book also for you.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah.
Even I felt so. I mean,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think it is not just one read. It will be like
Yeah.
multiple times
You will have
read.
to do multiple times, and each
Again.
segment you can come back and we can read certain segments again. So then it becomes really cemented. Yeah. And also doing some artworks in the book itself in the last pages to capture your own, bringing out those kind of skill sets, artistic, so that it really creates one stronger impressions of learning. Okay, so based on whatever you are able to read, is there any questions that came up? Did you capture any questions,
Uh,
or or anything in that
Actually,
is
in fact, Captain, from the thinking will and
Mhm.
that also the, it is not very very clear for me. There is
Okay.
some thin line also,
Mm. So you share your
especially for
understanding,
thinking.
thinking. Okay, share your understanding, then I can correct that. What do you understand so far?
Thinking, my thought was that thinking is mainly something which I am thinking about planning of. of not physical work, but just thinking with my mind.
Mm,
That's it.
mm,
I mean,
mm,
uh, and sometimes we do a lot of work which is also thinking and doing.
mm,
That is actually confusing me. Will that be a part of actually will
mm,
or only thinking? Because
mm,
if I say, for example, I make a strategy or something, so I have to
mm,
then think about it a lot,
mm,
in my
mm.
mind. Okay, how it
Yeah,
will be,
yeah.
or maybe I'm planning for some event, how it will
Mm,
be, and all. Then I put something on my paper,
mm. Yeah,
put down notes
yeah.
to make it more clear.
Clear. Yeah.
Those things,
So the fundamental is the doing. Okay, sometimes called willing, also doing. That means you're doing physical. You go pot a plant. It's purely in the thing, right? Clear cut. That is. Then there is feelings. That means our emotions come in the way. It could be activities like singing. You may be drawn to a song where somebody else may not like that song. There is no logic to it. Why you're drawn to that song? Why you felt this music was so much more beautiful to listen to? While somebody said it's okay, not a big deal, right? You might like classical, somebody might like modern hip hop, this, that, Hindi, English, different based on their life journey. So that's more on the feeling side. And thinking, like you rightly said, is all to do with the analytics, thinking, abstract concepts where there is no structure, right? If I have to give you a square plus b square, it is all mathematical, abstract. What is this a square, b square, and all that stuff, right? So it's very abstracty. So anything in the abstract world will clear cut thinking. If there is no shape to give. If you say strategy for your company, what shape will you give to that object? There is no shape there. So that would be clearly in the thinking world. Okay. If you're thinking, how can I make this chair? I need to chisel this and make it into a stool. Okay, because there is a shape there to it. So now still you're thinking also, and then you're executing it by doing it. So there is more doing, little bit of thinking also. In abstract concept, there is more thinking, little bit of doing. The idea of this thinking, feeling, and doing is like a clock. Okay, together only they make a clock. Individually, they are meaningless. And as a human being, all three are there within us. We cannot separate them out. We cannot separate, take care. Feeling today, I will keep it aside. Thinking and feeling, there will be little feeling there. Okay. So the idea is, can we see the separation in us at the same time, can see the togetherness of us like a clock. The clock is separate, each hour hand, second hand, minute hand, but still they work together to give time. Right? Separate but yet together. So the hour hand would be, if I have to give it, hour hand would be the willing or the doing. Okay. And the minute hand would be the feeling. And the second hand would be like the thinking, constantly ticking away. Yeah. But all three are needed. They add to the whole color of the thing, and they are real. So you can use this kind of mapping, and um, just to give us context, which kind of work, suppose we find a person is imbalanced, that means they're mostly in the thinking, mostly in the feeling, mostly in the doing.
I can say that again. I missed
If a person is
imbalanced.
imbalanced, right, they're doing only one type of nature, then as curators, we are giving curative solutions as coaches, right? So the curativeness is to first identify where are they heavy in, and then prescribe solutions to balance it. Balance does not mean we turn the second hand fat like the our hand. Balance does not mean we do this our hand. It's not about making them look identical. Balance means they are all doing their job well, in not too much of it, not too little, just their work, whatever it is. Right? And whenever we work on the thinking of a human being, it's very easy to see. Like the second, and you can see how it's moving, time is ticking away. Right? If I give a thinking based activity, it's very easy to see result. That's why when there are a lot of workshops that are thinking heavy. When you send a child to that and you can see some result, they go for a geography map class, their children will learn 10 new foreign country names and they come back and tell you, wow, this child is very bright and intelligent, right? Because you can see it very readily, right? Feeling based kind of workshop, feeling based are a little slow. You can't see it. If you send them for a singing class, after 10 days also, they'll be just okay only, nothing major difference. Little bit they will be better, but still something. If you send them for a willing kind of classes, you send them to carpentry, gardening, nothing to show. But that does not mean the our hand is not moving. We cannot see, that's all. Right? So those kind of workshops are a little more. So there you have to give a little more patience for the parent and say, you know what, be patient, don't worry, the change is happening. It's going slowly because the activity that you would have prescribed is not going to show immediate results like thinking activity. So they have to have more patience of more weeks and months to see changes. Feeling based of activities, okay, between these two. Thinking activity in one day only they'll see some results. But today's challenge is not thinking activities. We are overloaded with thinking activities. Right? Our challenge is the feeling and balancing with those two activities as a generation. So how can we include those kind of activities? Right? Now coming back to what those activities involve, anything which uses a lot of our limbs, ideally both limbs, if not at least one set of limbs. Like walking, primarily legs are being used. If you're going to do some knitting, primarily the hands are being used. If you're doing pottery, primarily hands are being used. You're sitting in one spot. If you're doing gardening, you're using your legs also, getting up, going there, getting this, coming here, right? So trying to see which activities uses a lot of limbs. Even though in thinking based activity you may use the computer to type away something, it's got some element of doing, but it is not, it's more in the thinking rather than doing such kind of activities, right? Making a report is more thinking than doing, even though your fingers are moving. Okay? So this would broadly be there. Okay? Let's take that chapter, it's page 9. Okay, page
Chapter,
9.
I had some doubt. I mean, I'm having a little confusion about these things. I mean,
Okay.
just and just I opened the. So if when I look at page number 25,
Okay.
second phase,
Okay.
it here it is actually going outside. It's mainly the focus is on the feelings, right?
Mhm.
And when you see the arrows, the outward arrow going out, I'm getting confused about that. The something is going within
Okay.
and something is going out.
Okay. So we will come back to that. We will come to that. Let's come to the starting part. Okay. We will come to that. Before that, we have to understand there is one more thing. Okay. We'll come to the three phases. We'll come to that part. Okay. That question I will come. Is there anything on the thinking, feeling, and doing?
Captain, if you can also just see if you don't mind, if you can see the
I'll share.
assignment,
I'll share. I'll share.
because maybe you can see if I have understood something wrong. Or
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've given the sharing access to you.
is my
Exercise. Yeah. Willing. Okay. You can put it as willing. Will would be something else. It's just willing,
feeling?
feeling, and thinking. Huh? Means you will it. You get into the doing part. or even you can put it as doing. If willing is confusing, make it into doing. Exercise, cycling, bathing, gardening, stitching, driving. Doing assignment could be, it depends on what the assignment is. So
Yeah,
that,
yeah, these are
okay,
like maybe
yeah.
thinking.
So
Okay.
it depends if it's a thinking, if they'll give a clay assignment to the kid, then that's okay. If it's a maths assignment, it would come under thinking. Depends on the assignment nature. Organizing would be on the thinking side. Eating, drinking, okay. Walking, swimming.
Captain, organizing will be thinking, is it? Or willing?
What do you mean by organizing?
Actually, this one is actually a combination.
Okay.
After I think, then I will organize. I will do it.
Yeah.
So
So like a
depend
clock,
on what predominant it
like
is.
a clock, the organizing part itself may be in the thinking. Think, okay, this toys have to go here, this has to come
Yeah.
down, right? But the actual execution or sorting will be in the willing part. Okay.
Okay.
Now you'll be thinking, okay, is this
What to do?
individual or child only knows that this toy has to go on the top shelf, everything they know, but they're not doing it,
Right. Right.
or they're doing it but not really thinking where should go what where. They're just dumping into whichever lot it wants to, they want to, right? So then they're good in their doing part, but they're not good in their thinking part of the organizing. You can put it as doing organizing or doing sorting and thinking sorting. You can break that into three parts. The singular same activity. So organizing thinking. This is organizing doing. So you'll find it. So like that, not any everything will, it can be clear cut. We are just putting predominantly on 70-80% can be assigned into this segment or not. Every activity will have all three elements.
Actually, yes, yes. Right.
Yeah. Because if you remove feeling part, we cannot take any decision. That is the rule. There was a lot of research done where they removed the emotion part from the human brain, and the person could not take a decision whether they should use blue pen or black pen to sign. Even that became a torturous decision. So what does that mean? Sometimes you'll find such people even in real life, unfortunately, though no operation has been done or no surgery, because they are so much in the thinking part, analyzing. If you talk to them, they'll come, Mare, we should do that. Why we should use black pen? Why we should use blue pen? Are just sign and get on with it. Somebody will be telling, you know. But they are like, no, no, no. How do you know? Then it's not be good. Again, they'll discuss 1 hour on which pen to use. And I'm of course exaggerating, but the idea is there could be people who exaggerate a simple action into so much levels of thinking, and they are excessive thinkers. So the cure for them is to get them into doing something. Come, let's go plant something, let's go do something else, let's go for a walk, let's. Then they'll be like, no, what is the purpose of the walk, what benefits will I get, what is the cholesterol, Array, forget all that, man, just come for the walk. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
they're
this is
like
a
that.
good solution, Captain.
Yeah, so you're now balancing it, right? Come, let's do some artwork, but what is the benefit, what is this, what is that? Because they're constantly in the thinking, right? Because excessive. So similarly, there'll be people who are not thinking at all. Then you can say, you know what, let's pause. Let's see what happens if we do this. Let's forecast our action. Okay, there you're helping them build a thinking capacity. Let's not keep doing this. Let's wait, 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 wait. If we keep walking in this road, where will we reach? Okay, we're going to reach. Then what happens? Oh, there is a dead end. We have to turn back. Okay, do we want to go there? Oh, yeah, let's go to the dead end. Okay, fair enough. No, 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 I don't want to get stuck in the dead end. Then let's think, why are we going and then coming back? Okay. So there, for such people, you're helping them think, pausing, forecasting our action, and coming back. For people who are excessive thinking, you're telling, forget thinking, let's go. What's the worst? Let's go to dead end, come back, nothing back off the road, right? You're not allowing. Maybe we'll have some. Maybe we'll see some butterflies there, and we'll come. Nothing else. We'll appreciate some beauty. Maybe there is some surprise there. So there, you're telling them to act into doing stuff. And for people who are only in the doing, you're telling them to think now. And both of them can be stirred with feeling based activity. Feeling based activity could be like you put sun gazing, like that. Hey, let's go watch some bird there. That's a very feeling based activity. Even though there is doing, because you don't know what surprises and suddenness are all part of feeling. So they stir. Oh, I never thought I'll see a peacock here. Oh, I never thought I'll see a parrot here, or something. So that kind of activity will all be in the feeling. Well, yeah. Let's do something spontaneous. That's very feeling. You cannot think spontaneous. You have to feel and then do something spontaneous. Spontaneity. People who are very spontaneous are very rich in their feeling. The feeling will is very
Okay.
strong. Okay, so you may have
Captain,
some,
why do you think so? I mean, those who are spontaneous are quite rich in feeling.
because they rely on their gut, the feeling will,
Okay.
right, and they act out. They say, let's do this, let's go for dance, let's go here, chalo here, let's do that. Some friend, maybe their cousin, this that, they might do spontaneous act. The feeling is very good. They'll also be usually good singers, dancers, all those artistic work, they'll all be good in those kind of stuff. Usually, I'm not saying they have to, but usually it's very much in the feeling stuff. Thinking are very good. They'll be good chess players, good at this, you know, uh, good at organizing, thinking, debating. Those are all very much in thinking people.
Can I ask you a question, Captain? As in, because you talked about thinking. So young children, as in about the same example which you told about, deciding which pen color and all. It doesn't matter. Just it's about just signing. For kids who are less than 7 years, obviously their thinking has not built. So for them to, eat in white plate or a blue plate, for us it's all the same. But for them that matters.
Mm.
So we can't expect them to understand that. I mean, for them, if it is white plate in the morning, so they have to eat in the white plate. I mean, blue in the afternoon, then blue only. If I give them a red plate, then they'll be like, no, I don't want to eat because this is a red plate.
Mm.
I mean, is that okay?
That is, they're coming in a will. Their will is very strong. They like discipline. They are in
Okay,
a way asking for discipline. Okay, they're asking for stricter house rules. They want the parent to enforce
okay,
strict house rules. They don't want to be the general. They don't want to be the boss. They want to delegate this to the parent. You enforce it. You tell me to it. Why? It's like when you have a weak boss, or when you have a weak police, or when you have the it frustrates the citizen. When you have a weak king, weak queen, right? Because they want a firm one. They don't want the unfair one. They want same rules for all the citizens, but they want a firm ruler. Okay. So in a way, the young children are in their willing. So the first 7 years. So how we spoke about this, ideally a human being is well rounded in all three dimensions. They're able to be spontaneous, they're able to think through, they're able to get things done. That is an ideal human being. Willing is strong, feeling is strong, thinking is strong. And that is the whole goal of parenting and education, that we can create these well rounded human beings, right? But it doesn't happen. So, because of that, we have to do a little bit of course correction adjustments. Now, young children, 0 to 7, they are primarily in their willing. They don't have any thinking. And we should not be in a hurry to infuse thinking. If I have to give cooking, if I have to give it as a cooking analogy, starting, let's say you're cooking the dal or something, that time only you will not put tadka and all that. You will just say first, let the dal cook or do whatever you have to put into the base, right? But why not put the thing that it is so, yeah, I know, but that comes at the end, the tadka part. It adds great flavor, but the base has to be first ready. That's pure substance, that is willing. Just dal boiling and thing. What is fun in that? Nothing's boring. But you'll put some tomato, you'll put this dal and boil it and stuff like that, right? And then the second part is the feeling. You'll add little salt, you'll add some, you know, whatever, a turmeric, chili powder, anything like that, blah blah. and you'll create a little bit of a base, still edible. See, the willing dal also is edible, not like it can't be eaten. It's just cooked, not tasty perhaps, but it's good. The second part with little bit of some base stuff you added, onions and this that, little bit more edible, adds a little more color, right? And then the tadka part at the top gives it a little more grander color, right? So everything has got steps. It comes at the end, what comes first. So in the early childhood, it's about developing the willingness of the child. It's about making sure these things are developed and not be in a hurry to develop the thinking or the tadka side. So the boring stuff, sleep on time, eat your meal on time, eat this, the boring stuff is all sorted out,
Yeah.
right? So setting them right in their body, physical body. No? Can you tell if there's when you can you tell me when you're full? Yes. Can you eat? Okay, fair enough. Can you wash your plate? Basic boring stuff like the initial cooking of the dal. So if that is sorted without worrying too much about their thinking and all the stuff, they will be very strong. They'll have a good base on which they can build the rest of their life. Good discipline, on time, go to school, get ready, go to school on time. The punctuality you can build, coming back home on time, tidying up the toys, all those kind of stuff, the dull and boring stuff. In the second phase, that is where the feeling is being developed now in the 7 to 14. That's where you can, like I said, even here there is feeling, even here there is thinking, even in young child. It's not like they don't think and can't, but you're not pushing them to become chess masters there because that's just because that's the height of thinking. Because you're planning so many levels, right? You're not telling them become artists and amazing singers at things. If they can sing with you, if you're a singer and they're singing with you, go ahead and sing. If they come and watch something, and when you're playing chess, let them come and watch. You're not saying no, 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 don't come here and all that. But you're not openly encouraging and putting them to attend classes on chess. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to say for the willing. If they come and see you play, they watch, they get inspired, fair enough. You come and see you draw, you're not focused. But getting the other things done is the focus. Keep your toys back, eat on time, go to sleep. It's time to sleep now. Let's go to school on punctuality, blah, 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 dress up well. Getting them educated in their body. Their body, they should be master. They should be able to throw a ball, catch a ball, kick a ball, stop a ball, run, climb. Their body, masters of their body. Bend, do something, climb, get down the bed 100 times, climb the tree 100 times, right? Run here and there, jump here, jump there, play in mud, play in water. Swimming is a good activity at that time. It's all about doing, right? There's nothing to think and all that stuff. You can teach them swimming, cycling. So all these kinds of great activities. And if they learn from the other verticals, okay, but don't push. Because there's an
Well,
elder sibling, they see the elder sibling, oh, I also want to sit and draw like Akka and things like that. Then okay, you sit and draw, but don't enroll them for class thinking they have talent.
when you say, say for example, like swimming, we ideally want them to learn swimming early, right? At that age. So sending them to classes is not a good idea.
You
Swimming.
you can you can send them. Just make sure the classes, the way they teach is good, and and they don't make the child detest swimming. See what's happening. Even the swimming instructors and things are not trained. They know swimming per se. They know how to. They know they're good swimmers, no doubt, but they haven't been taught how to teach swimming.
Yeah. Mm.
They themselves are champion swimmers. They will do lap after lap, but they haven't been educated on how to swim, right? How to teach swimming. Sorry. So you have to choose the best of the lot, right? There are people like now. Sometimes they have coaches, cricketing coaches. They talk to me how can I teach cricket better to our children, blah blah. but I am helping only few people here and there. But this kind of thing is needed for so many coaches, how to teach this thing. So you can tell the coach there at that time, you know what, I just wanted to enjoy swimming. Give them very clear instructions. I want them to enjoy. I want her to come back every day wanting to do swimming. That is the sign of a good coach, right? So people think, but how, what? No, I've seen a lot of good coaches. They don't have to think. They just make swimming so much more fun. They make it with games. They make it playful, and the children are just waiting to come next day to come for the class. That's when you know you got a great coach. Don't worry about the brand and name and whatnot. That is the coach to send to. So swimming is a great, it's purely in the doing, purely in the. So when it comes to the second phase, it's all about emotions, emotional development. They're educating on emotions, asking them to speak, listening to them fully, asking them to express how are you feeling. So you're using a lot of how are you feelings in this phase. How are you feeling today? You know, what are you feeling? They went through some uh, they saw somebody, some death had happened in the family. Okay, what are you feeling? How are you feeling? Are you feeling? And giving them vocabulary. They don't have vocabulary. They'll have 3, 4 words only. For everything, they'll use those 3, 4 words. Right. So now is the time to educate them in their feelings, giving them richer vocabulary of emotional words, not intellectual words, but emotional words. For happiness only, there'll be so many subtle words of happiness. Joy is different from happy, and this is different. So then they know, oh, no, no, okay, I'm feeling joy, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, right? The different words on emotions. So giving them that kind and giving them now more exposure to uh, what you can say, uh, activities which are stirring feeling, artistic singing. Similarly, in swimming kind of activity, if they love swimming and they want to do a lot more swimming, go ahead, put them into more. They can become champion swimmers if you want. Because all in the doing, you're in sync. Okay, they want to go for more classes, they want to now learn advanced level because all in the doing part. So that is good. Okay, but not at the thinking part yet. So in the feeling part, you can build artistic classes, they can go for music, they can go for tabla, guitar, or guitar may be too young, at least after 9 because the hands will pain, and some singing, vocal singing, because vocal is voice is always associated with feeling. Just like there are unique fingerprints, even our voices have certain uniqueness. And whenever there is uniqueness, we're talking of feelings. Fingerprints symbolize and the feeling, right? Our bones are will, if you have to give it, because they're same 206 bones, only all of us have, nothing different in it. But our skin tone will be different, our facial features will be different, our voice will be different. Those are all feeling. Then our thoughts itself is in the thinking. What careers we have chosen, how do we use our time, what kind of thoughts come through these are all the thinking part. So how we can take each part and break it into these 3 legs, whether it was a clock, whether it was the dal, whether it was the bones of the human body, right? You're breaking it into these 3 dimensions and seeing where the children are, what is it that we should be educating them on, educating them in their feeling in the 7 to 14. And what does that mean? Doing activities which are spontaneous, which are rich in, evoking our emotions. A pottery will evoke emotions, right? One bad pot will evoke, oh my God, it's turned out so bad, looks thing, it evokes, and a beautiful looking pot will evoke certain joy. So the emotion is getting evoked, right? So not that swimming will not evoke emotion if you win, but it's not the primary. Here, every act of something will evoke some emotion. Artistic activities. So these kind of artistic activities are basically any expression. You're expressing yourself, your inside self is coming out. It could be as a painting, it could be as a song, could be as a dance, could be as a sculpture, could be anything else. Wherever there is an expression coming out, that would be a feeling. Only a feeling can express. A thought can intellectualize, it can debate. So here, if somebody shows talent in some things, in the feeling part, right, you can encourage them. They should great pottery. I want to go for advanced pottery classes. Go for it. If they want to go for painting class, singing class, dancing class, music class, go for it. If they say I want to continue swimming because that's already done, so you can continue, no problem. The past ones can continue forward, going onwards. Okay, the future ones have to wait their turn. Okay, anything in the earlier segment can come forward. They say I want to do a lot of gardening in the 7 to 14. Good, that's anyway was earlier thing you want to do now. No problem, go for it. Right? All the previous ones are eligible for the current ones. Right? So like that moon watching, star watching, music playing, yeah, all that is there. Massage is also good because if you give them massages, their growth is good. You know, the touch is also included. So you're touching the child, you're keeping the connect, giving them hugs, cuddling. They're all very rich feeling. Reading stories to them. Them reading stories is thinking. You reading stories is feeling.
Sorry, they reading stories is
Is on the thinking. They are thinking
okay.
and
Thinking.
assimilating it. But you reading a story is more soulful. It is more your voice going into them, right? And they also can read if it's very kind of not like a who done it kind of a novels. That would be more in the thinking part, the detective kind of novels. These would be more playful, simple comics to Winnie the Pooh kind of stories, and maybe a little bit of very fairy tale-ish. Of course, in the willing, you can do a lot of heavy duty fairy tale, right? All imagination based and not, there is no evil in the first segment. In the willing, there is no evil. Don't introduce evil in the fairy tales. There's just good and better types. No heavy duty evil, like the evil witch and the monster and those kind of things. The way the evil witch and the monsters and those kind of things all come in the 7 to 14 years, because that is
Quite
stirring
late.
emotion.
Okay.
That is coming, that is stirring emotions. Every time there's an evil monster, your emotions, your heartbeats are going up and down. You know what's going to happen. There's a hero or a heroine coming in, doing this good stuff, bad stuff. In the first one is more or less everybody is good, only just little not so good. Sometimes you'll find in the movies everything is good. It's like not really bad villains, a light gray villain. Okay, kind of a story. So for the children in the less than 7, pre-kindergarten, for them the world is good. You have to keep it that way. That's the essence of that group. The world is good. Okay, the world is good because for them they're trusting. The trust is built when the world is good. They build their trust of the world. Otherwise, they become very skeptical as adults. They don't trust anything. They don't trust anyone. So the world is good. That means if I give you something to keep, I'm a young child, give something to keep, I'll take it tomorrow. Then I expect it to be given back to me tomorrow. I'm not expect to be cheated tomorrow morning. Oh, I don't know where it is. Even if you have forgotten by accident, then as a child, the child will stop trusting. Not malice, but still the child will not trust. Oh, I forgot where I kept it. What you forgot? where you kept the toy. Oh my God, how can I trust you then types, right? For them, they're very trusting and you have to keep that trust so that they become things. The trust can be broken later, but in that phase, they are more looking for that trust. The world is good. Everybody is good people and keeping it that way, not preparing them for World War III or such things, right? Then in the second part, the 7 to 14 is where the world is beautiful. They want to appreciate beauty. They want to see more beautiful pictures, artistic work, beautiful buildings, beautiful, people dressed up well, different cultures. Cultures are very much on the feeling side, exposing them to different cultures. If you're traveling, going and talking to different cultural people, trying out different food. Food is very much in the feeling side, cooking food together, cooking food by themselves. So in the 7 to 14, making them independent to cook food. In the first part, they were independent to eat food by themselves. Here, they're cooking food, whatever the house cooks, not something new, they can, but mainly at least whatever the mother can cook or the father can cook, can the child cook that? Basic stuff at least, dal chawal, basic stuff. So making them independent like that. That is a very much in the feeling activities. Same food in the thinking activities will be where they are now able to cook from a recipe book, maybe create their own dish.
That is after 14.
Yeah, again, like I said, don't make into hard rules, just boundary. Even by 12, 30, you're able to do good enough. But the idea of giving this boundary is just to act as a marker, not to get stuck to it. But at the same time, you know that 7 is just too early. That is not break. That's way breaking a breach. 9 is too early, right? Okay, instead of 14, 13, 12, okay, fair enough. Is it so bad? Not at all. Let them do. It's not a deal breaker, right? So allowing a little room, but at the same time, not being aware of the boundaries to some extent. And some things which are very strong, having a clear no. I want you to be at least 14, 15. They say, I want to open an Instagram, I want to open a Facebook. No, never mind. I know you're smart enough, but you wait 15 years, 14 years. Like that. So there you're putting hard boundaries. Even though their friends may be having, it's okay. So having these three kind of verticals and knowing that sometimes the same activity can be spread out or same activity has to be tweaked to suit more doing, more feeling, that is expression, artistic beauty. And the last one is the world is truthful. Like I said, first one is world is good, second is world is beautiful, the third one is world is truthful. So what I mean by truthful is people share the truth. If not, I shall find out the truth. And that is the age where parents have to be almost brutally honest with their children about the house affairs, finances, relationships. I'm not getting along with that relative of mine, or sometimes husband and wife have issues. The children know it, not to treat. That's where we have to stop treating them with kid gloves and involve them in the house. We're going through a financial struggle. I want to share about it, telling them that, oh, the child becomes okay, let me see how I can help. There we become very protective. We do the ulta. Here at young age, we tell them the full truth of the family. We'll tell them, and then they become overwhelming for them, right? And so that we have to do the other side. Be more truthful as they're teenagers, not to shy away from truth because they are expecting truth from the parents.
The voice is breaking.
Okay, is it?
Captain, your voice is breaking. I can't hear you. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, is it better?
yeah. Yes, it is better.
Yeah. So that is about the three things. Okay. Like we are spending a lot of time on that because once that grounding is very strong, everything else learning becomes easy. Yeah. I want you to read the thinking on page 9. Page 9. Okay.
Page 9.
Yeah, 9 and 10.
About Philip
Page
thinking.
9, thinking. Yeah, just that segment. Up to page 10, it ends.
Done, Captain.
Yeah. So, any thoughts on that?
That mainly thinking is being so conscious. I think it happens quite later, and mostly as it's also mentioned that we mostly as adults we do mainly thinking than other things. We
Mm,
miss we don't do the feeling
mm,
kind of things, and that's I think maybe for me I'm saying personally feeling happens very rarely and I mean, sometimes I do feel otherwise it's mostly thinking is what I'm doing.
mm. Yeah. And sometimes this helps as adults also, because adult coaching is nothing different from parent coaching. What you're learning is universal, although you're specializing in parenting. Even as adults, to see where is the imbalance in our life, right? If you're doing a lot of thinking based activities in the computer coding, fair enough, that's the job, nature of the job. Then how are we balancing it in the weekends? What can we do? Oh, I want to do something, little bit of work, little bit of a rough and tumble, go there, here and there, or a little bit of feelings. I want to do some singing for myself. I want to do some artistry. I want to go somewhere else, join some club, do. So it becomes easy how to balance. What happens? People in thinking will pick similar thinking activities. They'll say, let me go for a chess thing. You already have been thinking so heavily. Again, you're going to more thinking activity, more thinking activity. So the balance is becoming imbalance. Then they get into depression, they get into all sorts of other stress parts. So stress is reduced when we can balance ourselves.
I mean, that's why mostly adults they have, need to do self-care activities.
Yeah, seldom they do self-care, which is actually balancing. They do self-care, but it's only amplifying what they like. Sometimes you may not like that activity. It's okay. Go and do it. It balances you. Not everything we have to like. Just like this, like even here they mention how the early stage of thinking is more concrete. It's like keep the
Competence.
toys, okay, keep the toys there, keep the toys, in someplace else. If you make a triangle and split it into three levels horizontally, at the bottom would be this concrete thinking, how to go from here to Delhi. Okay, you need a plan, you need to buy a train ticket. Very thinking, but very, it's got an imagination, it's got a very concrete stuff, right? The more abstracty kind of thing is in the second half. It's in the schooling level. Okay, maths, problems, two into two. It's like you're all imagining abstract. It's got no tangibles associated with it, right? Yeah, Abba. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, there's
yeah,
some break in the connection.
break thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's showing here a signal, but anyway, we'll continue. So, what I said is a concrete, then is the abstract, which is more like what our conventional education is most of the time, and imagination, which conventional education doesn't focus. Imagination can come from storytelling, it can come from, because when you tell a story and they don't see a movie, like they are not reading, let's say you are reading a story to them, right? And you say, oh, there was this person, he was walking down the road, muddy path, and then there's a tree, and this, so they're imagining, right? And they're sitting by the bed and just imagining. So you're building that, strengthening that imagination capacities, right? And once in a while you can say, okay, you make, and sometimes you can make your own story, don't have to be a book also. And you can ask them, they are also now making stories. Of course, that will be less, not too much. One, maybe 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7 days. Most of the time you will be telling. So you're building imagine. So imagine is the highest level of thinking. In thinking, if there have to be segregation, then there is concrete, abstract, and imagination. Right? So there also you're going to bifurcate and say, what thinking are you doing a lot? Is it yours? Imagine your author is also a thinker, imagination thinker. Somebody who's doing planning and start, they are there the concrete type of thinking. Or then I need to do, okay, are you in the abstract type of thinking? Maybe a researcher, right? Imagination. So, okay, I'm doing thinking, but now I'm doing only one type of thinking. Can I do different type of thinking there? There also you can create levels, right? And then category change. Okay, thinking I'm doing. What about feeling? Can I do feeling kind of activities? So you can go into the feeling side. Okay. So now read about the feeling part.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah. Anything there? Share, comment.
Captain, that mainly this struck me that feelings are very important and they bring meaning to our life.
Mm,
Otherwise, it's like if we have feeling, then we are living in a paradise. Otherwise,
yeah. People
that
who
is
are
very
rich
deep.
in people who are rich in feelings, you'll see they love life. They wake up morning rich. They're not uh, feeling sad. They're not. I'm not saying they don't feel sad. Sad is also, but they're just enjoying the life which brings to them, right? Otherwise, it's like the juice of life is being taken out, right? The fruit has been squeezed out the juice and is just left with the dry fruit. Like that's how most people live because there's no juice in it. There's no energy to look forward to. That's why feelings bring that. Every time we bring back, it fills up that fruit again with juice. That's the beauty of it. It's not forever. In normal fruit, to take out the juice, it's gone. We can't put it back. But in human beings, it's not like that. Even the juice, we can fill it back again. It'll again be refreshed. That is why it's hope. Life is of hope, right? We can fill it back each time it empties. So for that, we have to be in that surrounding, work in that, encourage feelings and things like that.
Then, Captain, some people are like very heavily emotional,
Hmm.
very emotional
Yeah,
about anything about
yeah.
things.
So their will is weak, usually. Will is weak. Okay. So most of the time, who are heavily emotional, their will is weak. When I give them will based activity, they get tired very fast. They're like, oh, I'm bored. I can't do this anymore. And this and that. All excuses will come because they're heavily led by emotions. Little bit, oh, my back is paining. One hour work, and they're like, oh, my thing hand just can't move. Oh, I think I will quit now because if this is happening. So you have to build their will.
Basically, yeah, okay. I was thinking that is that they are more living more better or
Not necessarily. It's
not that
everything
because
in
they don't have the balance.
everything is in balance. The whole life, like Buddha talks, is in balance. The most joyful, satisfied human being is one who lives in balance, not at the austere self of a monk and sadhus, not in this complete materialistic splurge and uh, completely in the materialistic thing, but in the middle, enjoying the material world for what a joy it gives, enjoying the spiritual world for the balance that it gives. The middle path is where the true joy is. So feelings are also in the middle. No feelings also it feels like dry. Too much feelings also feels like there is no will, there is nothing, no action is possible. They're constantly in feeling. Every time they're in feeling, nothing, no action is being taken. I'm feeling down. Fair enough. Okay, why don't you do this? You'll give them advice. Okay, do that, do that. Next day, same thing again, the same feeling. No action taken. Right? Again, you'll be frustrated. Why are you not doing this? Why can't you take this action? I'm telling you all this, but they are heavily. But what to do? You don't understand my problem. I don't know. My misery is this and that. Okay, fair enough. I'm giving you the map to this. Go to the other side. They don't want it, right? So they have to build their will. So that is the goal. Building more of the will. You can't tell them that. You have to very slowly draw them. Come, let's go for a walk. Let's play some game. All this are willing. Playing game is outdoor game. Let's play some badminton. Let's play this. Let's play some running and catch. Slowly the will is built. The emotions come down to controlled state. So even here, our most basic feeling is that of likes and dislikes. That is at the elementary feeling. Young children are build that feeling first. The in the willing phase, I said no. In every phase, there is everything. It nothing is completely clinically only that. So in the willing phase, the feeling is developing also, but more of like dislike. I like orange, I don't like orange. I like chocolate, don't like. I like this activity, don't like. I like this uncle, I don't like this aunt. So very clear, this like or not, right? And that's the first level of feelings. They don't understand abstract things like love. Oh, do you love mama? They'll say, if you want me to tell, I'll tell you. I don't know what it means, but I will tell that, right? They don't have. But if you say, do you like mama? Ah, I like mama, or I don't like, or I like this, or I don't like this. So that is very easy for them. Sympathy and antipathy, as some people call it. Sympathy means like, antipathy means not like, dislike. So you use whatever words, does not matter. But the end goal is that is the first feeling for somebody. Then you'll check, yeah, are they able to even, sometimes I've come across people who are struggling to say what they like and dislike also, because they're scared to express that part. So before building advanced level feelings, first we tell them, okay, first you make a list of what all things you like and don't like, what all activities you like and don't like, what all people you like and don't like. I'm talking for older people, older children who have missed the boat of building these kind of things. Right? Then they become, oh, I actually like this, don't like this. Right? So it's important that we first see where in the feeling we have to start working. Is it at the ground level, or that one is okay? We will work at the middle level or at the high level, just like thinking. Which part of thinking should I work on? Concrete thinking, abstract thinking, or imagination thinking? Which level is the problem? Similarly, if a feeling is it like dislike? That's at the bottom level only we have to start, or that one is okay. The next level is everyday emotions. Should I work with? What is everyday emotions? Like basically joy, sadness, jealousy. They should go through the full range of emotions. Healthy children should go full. We should not make them protected. Okay, I'll not show them bad stuff, only good stuff I will tell. No, bad emotions, good emotions, That's why here the evil witch and monsters are welcome, because they bring ups and downs of the human character, right? Death, illnesses, oh, that person, our close friend passed away, this one, yeah. How are you feeling? Oh, I'm feeling sad, saying what all those emotions, asking them how they're feeling. So that's the everyday emotions. The last kind of feeling, which comes usually after 15, 16, and later, is the spiritual emotions, which is devotion to work, which is a purpose in life, where you don't need anybody else. It's like certain joy which comes with your purpose, right? It's not a simple emotion, it's very advanced level, almost like in faith, people who are like, people who are spiritually directed, you'll find a different level of emotion with them. They are no longer bothered with all this other stuff. They're completely like as if God has given them some mission and they're on that, right? They're supercharged. So that is at the highest level of emotions. Nobody has to tell them anything. They're always in a state of joy. They are happy doing what they have been told on a mission to do something. They're on it. But they can't reach that till they have gone through these. They can't bypass the step. They may go sooner, but they have to go through the same steps.
Captain, I mean, some people don't even find purpose, maybe very late life, 50 also.
Yeah.
Is that because they had not done something right earlier, or
Possible. Their likes and dislikes, they have not been able to identify clearly. So when this is all muddled, their purpose also will become muddled. Where will the purpose come from? From emotions only. It's not going to come from some outside world. So when their emotions are sorted and they have likes and dislikes are good, they have sorted in that. It's okay to have likes and dislikes, but at least you're clear about your likes and dislikes. You're having a full range of emotions, daily emotions, ups and downs. Then all that thing is muscles have been built. Then when you get the purpose, you're very clear. Okay, I want to do this because you're supercharged. Then the devotion part comes, and the will also must be built to say that okay, I'm going to do this every day, right? So such kind of things you're building other aspects also. You're thinking also building, willing also building, and the feeling also. And all three will congregate and give you clarity in the purpose and help you to sustain in that purpose. They all must come together. But from the feeling side, the first two levels should be crossed. They should not shy away from expressing the emotion. They should be able to. How do you measure the second level is healthy? By observing the laughter of a human being. If they are someone who can laugh freely without worrying about who's around them, without worrying about what somebody else will think, they have reached that healthy state, right? Same for children. How do you observe? Watch the child laughing freely. There'll be some children will be there laughing their heart, so they will not bother who's around. Very strong in their feeling. Some will be very muted. They will be a little careful, guarded in laughter. Then you need to do a lot more work in this. Right? Same for us as individuals. If we can laugh without bother, then we are also building. Sometimes you can break free, being aware of it, let go of that fear and laugh with abandon, as it's called, without hitchcatch, without anything. That is when you have completely freed yourself from all feeling obstructions. So that is the test feeling. Because it's not like a quiz I can give them or something to say whether they are good in their feelings. All you have to do is observe them. So that is about the feeling part. So these are things like you can keep using. So whatever you make notes more detailed. Use the book also. Use whatever we spoke today. Make detailed so it becomes like a thing. Let's do the last of the three so we complete the full thing. The will part.
what does it mean? Strong and deep thinking. What does it refer to? When we say strong and deep thinking requires will.
Tell
What,
me, tell
which
me again. What is it?
it says strong and deep thinking requires will.
Okay. Yeah. So
What what does it
will,
mean? As in what kind of strong and deep thinking?
so for will is effort. What I keep talking, right? And will is the ultimate game because everything requires effort except feeling, which can come internally. And say for thinking, strong and deep thinking, if I say make a plan from here to Delhi, okay, it's a trek, a trip, you have to make a plan for a group of 10 people. Okay. Shallow thinking would be yes, we are going to take a flight, we are going to go to the Delhi, or let's say Rishikesh, you're going to trek, you're going to plan a Delhi trip, and from there you're going to take a train, go to Rishikesh, and from there blah blah blah, some trek. Okay, this is at the top level. Okay, now if you have to do deep thinking, okay, I need to make the itinerary, find out the flight, exact flight which is going which day, how much price, then we go there. Who's going to be picking us up? Which station are we going to be stopping? From there, what is the bus? What are the bus timings to go there? Between them, where we are going to have lunch and dinner. Coming into this, then okay, there we go. What time it starts? Where are we eating breakfast? Should the guest gets this? What should we do? And when we reach the place, what time are we starting? What clothes should people bring for that trip? So till the end, and then coming back reverse to the home. Now this requires a deep thinking. So this requires effort. That means you require your will. It means you have to put will. A lot of people will get tired. They'll say top level I will do. I'll go to Delhi. Delhi say, that much I will do. Deep thinking, oh my God, don't ask me, you guys, you just do it for me. Yaar. Or let's outsource it to someone else. Because that takes a lot of effort. Right? Because you have to think at such level, at such depth. So it requires our will to be strong, a thinking will to be strong. So that's where I use the thinking, how to strengthen our thinking, how to strengthen our feeling will. We are not stirring feelings, but to keep them in check, like just now I told you. Otherwise, if you leave them, they will go other side and become a total uncontrollable. At the same time, how to use our will to stir a little push to bring our feelings into our life. It has to happen by its own self. We can't do it, but at least can we create that environment through building our feeling will, build that room so that the feelings, when it comes, it's got a space enough, big enough for it to nurture. Can we build the room for our thinking so that the thinking can happen freely? Similarly, our actions, the will. That is the effort. Is that clear?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So similarly here also, they have made will into three parts. Okay, where the physical movements, basic movements, doing something, house cleaning, this, that, they're all very physical part of the will. The second part, he talks about the soul. Whenever there is soul, what you can do is replace it with feeling. Replace the word soul with feeling. Where, wherever you find the word spirit, replace the word with thinking. So it becomes
Which,
easy. Thinking,
which one?
thinking.
Which one? Soul is
Spirit.
spirit. Okay.
Spirit with thinking, soul with feeling, body as body, physical body. Okay, because some of the books are very archaically written, it can be quite confusing. So from a modern thing, though when I say body, I mean all three: physical body, emotional body, and our mental body. These are old books, right? So sometimes their language at that time was different. So today we use body, emotion, mind, somebody else will use something else. But in the end, we are talking the same thing. We're talking about the physical body, we're talking about the emotional body, we're talking about the mental body or the thinking body, whatever words we may use. Right? So spirit is thinking, soul is feeling. Soul also signifies the individuality of a human being. Yeah. What is the difference between soul and spirit? Body is body. It's very obvious. Soul is the uniqueness. Even though we got 206 bones, why is you and me different? Why are you and Sandeep? Why are you and somebody else different? Right? One is man, woman, skin is different, facial features are different, hair is different, this is different. So that is our soul quality. Our voice is different, fingerprint is different. That's the soul quality. That's the soul within us. The spirit is the same life force which there in every animal living thing. It is not different. So it's basically divided into spirit, which is universal life force, and soul, which is a unique life force, which is unique to us. They all same, but if you have to distinguish, life is there in animal also, this plant also, but that's the spirit part, the god matter or whatever we want to call it. The soul part is what makes us unique, even though we are from the same central being coming somewhere, but it's making us different, right? And at a pure matter, physical body cells, everybody's got same liver, heart, kidney, and made of the same kind of elements. So just to give you a lingo of vocabulary in case you get stuck when reading the book. Yeah. So I'm going to skip 13 to 15. You can read and come back. It's nothing. It's
Yes.
anything you have. I want to go directly to page number 21. It was a question you had asked. Maybe even page number 20 you can see first. Can you see page 20?
Yes.
Okay. So there you'll see one toddler, one girl, and one man like picture, right? So you can see that and in the second picture you can see the head and the torso and the limbs, right? So our head, though our life starts as the head, you know, in the womb of the mother, and the rest of the body grows into the head, right? So even when we come out of the womb, our journey is the head is more or less there. It's going to just become a little bit bigger. If you see, it's not too much getting bigger, but the rest of the body exponentially grows, right? So the organs of the human being, the central systems develop fully only by the age of 5 or 6 years. That is why until 5, 6 years, it's purely about the child just building their internal organs, not about any big things. That's why in olden times, even astrologers would not predict a child's future until they're 5 years old. Doctors would not take the medical exam till they're 5 years old because they wanted the entire internal organs to develop. Okay, so it's basically trying to tell that the outer limbs, the will starts to only grow and grow in us, right? And the thinking is it comes there, but it is less proportionate, right? When we start off, our head is 1/4 to the rest of the body. As a small baby, head is only 25%, rest of the body is 75%. As we become into full grown adult, our head is one part and the rest of the body is 7 parts. That much is the thing. So it is basically to show the developmental stages of a human being, right? And when you come to the second part, the 21, second picture, you can see those arrows in the first picture all coming inside. So what it means is the outside forces are the influencing factor in the child's consciousness. Okay, that means whatever the child is seeing, how you keep your footwear outside the house, the child is going to learn the same way. If you're just throwing the footwear and walking in, the child also will do the same thing. how they are seeing you interact with the rest of the world they're seeing. That's why sometimes you might find some children keeping their phone like this and talking like their mother, father, walking around pretending, or pretending to be their teacher, or pretending to be some grandmother, grandfather, and acting like them, or how you talk to some house help, they will talk to them like that. So they're seeing that, and outside influences is shaping them. That is why it's so much more important to see what kind of outside influences are influencing them, right? In the second one, outside influences are also coming, but they are also interacting with the world. They are sharing their perspective, they're sharing their thoughts. The consciousness is like a mix of their things getting changed. They may be thinking A, and when they share it with the world may say something different, and then they will change their perspective, right? So the kind of interactions with people matter in the second part. In the first part, just the environment, even if there are no people, how things are kept, everything else matters, right? And in the last part is mostly the development happens in the head. That's why the circle is around the head. In the second one, the circle is happening only in the feelings and the head, right? That means outside, they are now influencing their thoughts, process thoughts. So the development has come to the head part now in the last 14 years, after 14 to 21 years. In the first part, it's all about the limbs. They're finding the world by touching. They're touching some object and realizing, oh my God, this is hot, right? This is cold, like that. So that is the meaning. I think one of the pictures that you mentioned was something like this on page thing, right? So it's basically talking about the interaction between outside and inside self. They have certain notions. Mother would have told something, father would have told. When they interact with a friend, it will change, or they will tell, my friend said this, and when they come home and tell you, you'll say, no, not like that, this is what it means. Oh, okay. They will keep constantly changing. You may find sometimes children coming and telling, right? They'll have a certain understanding of the world based on what their friends have told, and when they come and interact with the adult, it will change. But that is getting more and more stronger as they become adult. They start becoming fixated on their own thoughts, the ways of the world. So then the first part, the will is getting awakened. The second image, the feelings are getting awakened. And third is the thinking is getting awakened. Same thing what I've told, they put it in some picture form. And the consciousness, if you see page 22, I'll just end with that. Page 22, if you see the arrows going from down to top. Okay. That means the consciousness of the child is first their limbs. They build their consciousness of the world through their limbs by walking to the some object, touching it, carrying it, feeling it. And then the consciousness comes to their heart or the feelings, so the emotions. And the last is when the consciousness is built in their head, the thinking, the willing, feeling, and thinking. So most of it is the same thing. They're bringing it in different ways, so we get the idea of what it is, right? So when you read this thing, uh, keep these three frameworks: willing, feeling, and thinking in perspective, and see where it is, why they are doing something. Or there's some doubts coming up, you can write down as a question. Okay, and there are certain, you can go ahead and read now up to, don't worry about syllabus and those what to teach and Roman numerals and all that stuff. It's made for a school. You can just read it once, but you don't have to make any notes for it. It's up to you. But you can just give it a reading about what they're trying to do. Okay.
Chapter.
Up to 73, page 73, you can read. I want you to read till 9. Up to 91, page 91. Okay. You can reread the earlier ones. The more you read, the more better you'll
Right.
become.
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
time something else
And
strikes.
each time a new question comes, write it down. Each time when you're reading question come, just keep one book, just keep writing down those questions, right? And make your notes, do those kind of work. Yeah. Because once you become very conversant with this, then I'll give you other things to read also. Because this I felt was a very good book for foundation. So next week we will not meet. It will give you 2 weeks to go through this, make notes, uh, go in thorough. You're welcome to read beyond 91, but 91 is so we have something to discuss. Okay, there are different crisis points that talk about. You can read about it, and then I will also talk about it. So next week we will not meet next week. Next to next week, you've got 2 weeks to do all this kind of self
That is
study.
15th, Captain.
One second, let me just open the calendar. Yes, 15th. So you got two weeks of self work. Then after that, I will give you some assignments from I don't know. Have you done a reflection of your own journey from 0 to 7, 0 to 7 to 14, and 14 to 21? Have you done? Have I given it to you any time?
No.
No. Okay. I
Actually,
will.
I saw those questions coming there
Okay.
on this book itself.
Okay.
But a lot of things I was not able to
Yeah.
think too much about.
Yeah. Don't go with that book. I'll give you something. If this is a little confusing, it is. Okay. I have created a
You,
separate questionnaire.
yeah.
Okay. I'll give that. So that one you do thoroughly. The more because it's a one-time activity. The more thorough you are, because the idea of a good coach is we have to first clean up our own baggage, right? Before we go on to help someone else. So it's almost very important that you do the spring cleaning for your own self. See what all fears are coming up, what all things are there, and bring it all out in the open, and then clean it up, right? You are welcome to also include Sandeep into this. It will be a great activity to bond as a couple as well, and to share each other these stories. How to do the activity itself, I will share later. Do not do the activity together until I give the instructions. Okay. Right now, only do yourself and he can do himself, and do not discuss. Okay. Discussion is a very specific process, should be done in a correct way that it can backfire. Okay. So just for your own internal reflection. So I will share it via email. You can do it. There is no restriction thing for you to finish it for 15th for that one. Okay. But the next session after that, you should finish it for sure. Now, whatever little bit you can do, you do. It's a little advantage. Okay. Whether Sandeep does it or not, you certainly start doing that questions for yourself. Okay. Write down in a separate journal as detailed. You don't have to journal it with like a sentences for each of those questions, but at least as memory points or aids you can put. Oh, we traveled, we shifted house from this to this. But you know this whole story how you shifted. That's okay. Just like that.
Captain, should I ask someone about what happened, my parents or someone, or should I only think rely on my memory?
First, rely on your memory. After you have exhausted your memory bank, then rely on them to fill it up. Otherwise, your memory can get tampered with their thoughts. If they tell something, you'll forget the way you thought of it yourself. Right? So, first, your memory, ask them, fill in the blanks. Whatever you know, you can't think anymore. Yeah. So, I'll share that via email. Yeah. So, this is the assignments, your book, and everything else. Yeah. Okay. Great then.
Captain,
Yeah.
I had some question.
Yes. 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 Ask.
So actually, this was regarding my daughter.
Hmm?
She changed to a different school. I told you last time,
Ah,
right?
correct. Correct.
Yeah. So now, so initially she started going. It was all well. She started going, and then she was happy. But now these days, in last 1 week, I'm seeing she's having hesitations to go to school.
Mm.
She's every day she wakes up saying, "I don't want to go to school." Then I keep asking her what happened. Then she's telling things like, initially it was like, "I don't know how to weave." They are doing some weaving also in school, but then that's why she doesn't want to go to school, because maybe other children were doing more better than her. Then I, then she, the next day I told her teacher, and she told she's doing, but then she started doing, and that time she was doing well. Then she was happy. Then the next day she went. After that, today she's telling me that I can't play. I don't know what to play, because
Mm.
when they go to school, they have some free play time, and the other kids play with each other, and they are playing in the swings. She's hesitant to play in the swings which are there, climbers and swings. But she is hesitant. She doesn't climb only. She doesn't want to sit in the swing.
Mm.
So I have noticed that, and she will sit there, or others will climb. She will just stand aloof and she'll just watch. And then now she's saying that I don't know what to do. I don't know what to play. I don't know how to play, and I don't know what to play. And that worries me, because a child saying that I don't know what to play and how to play is is a
Do they
very
have some sand or some mud there?
yeah. There's mud there.
Sand.
Even
Okay.
I told her you can play, pick leaves. You can do those things.
Yeah. So tell her, no, give her assignment. See, she's a kid whose thinking has been evoked. So now we can't suddenly stop it, right? Her thinking has been triggered. Like I said, Tadka has been put early, right?
Actually, and Captain, what is happening, right?
Mm.
She is telling me that I want to study.
Mm.
I want to learn about planets. I want to do all those things. It was happening. We stopped it, and we started all these things.
Mm.
And now every
So
day
it
she's
has
saying,
to
"I
be
don't want to
gradual.
play. I don't want to
Yeah.
play anymore. I want to study,"
Yeah.
and that is
So
actually
it
good.
has to be gradual. The
Uh,
school's strength comes in how they're able to draw the child out, right? The teachers, like I said, having alternate school is one thing. How much the school delivers on the promise is a different thing, right? So now that you are also getting educated, you know what you can do at home, okay,
right.
which the school does or doesn't do. So you can give a very guided play. That means not fully unstructured like what the school is expecting. That means you tell her, you know what, today when you go, why don't you make a small car or make a castle using the sand,
Mm.
right? Make a plan, make a castle, put some monsters there coming and attacking. Will the monsters, is it monster proof castle? Give us some imagination, fairy tale imagination. Make that and make play by yourself. If somebody friend wants to play, ask them to come and play with you. If they don't want to play, no problem. You play by yourself. Give her something called frameworks. Okay, for children like this who are already awakened, you have to give them frameworks. Framework means how to
Other
play.
things, when I tell her to play herself, she tells, "I don't know how to play myself."
Yeah, so that's why you have to give her frameworks. After that, she will not need it. Initially, you will have to give. After a few months, she will only stop asking. So initially, because she's new to this kind, you're building that imagination capacity and all. You tell her, you make whatever, some, you learnt about planets. Can you make some rocks and make some planets around it in the sand, you know, and make a spaceship, go through that and have an imagination. Let her build imagination, imaginative play and storytelling play, right? And tell a story to yourself, what kind of things happening, how those planets are there, and all this stuff. And as she gets comfortable, and slowly you can keep trying. The child may climb high in the tree. You climb one step in the tree. Don't climb the full thing. Just climb one step and get down. Can you do that today? Type, right? So you give that kind of simple little step. Okay, today I want to just climb little bit. 1 inch, can you climb? This is 1 inch. Show her how much 1 inch is. Just 1 inch, can you climb and come the tree?
Mm.
And tell her like, okay, 1 inch is this much, and this is the height you have to climb. Oh, that's all. Yeah, that's all. Climb 1 inch. Oh, I did more. I did 1 inch. Okay. Or suppose she didn't. Okay, try again 1 inch. Then after that, okay, climb 2 inches now. So slowly you're building confidence. Okay, swing. I don't want you to swing. Just sit on the swing for count till 3 seconds and come back. Only 3 seconds. Yeah, only 3 seconds. So slowly and steadily, you can break her resistance and make her comfortable as well. Okay? And imaginative play. Yeah. And take her down. You will build your own imagination skills. Go down, let's play with something. Let's get some leaves and other things. One day in the weekend, you take her, right? So she'll get to know how to play. Because one of the things I realized in today is many children simply don't know how to play because nobody has shown them how to play. Before days, it was not a problem. There will always be one older kid who knows it, who will teach it, and you will teach it. And there is that whole, hand me down kind of system was there. But today is not like that. The older kids also don't know what to play. How will they teach the younger ones?
Because she has been alone also.
Yeah. So you become the older one now, right? You go down with her, you play something, you play hopscotch with her, you draw something and say you can draw in the mud also hopscotch and play. Let's play simple hopscotch, only this much boxes. And she'll start playing then. And the friends also will say, hey, can we join? Yeah, come join. Because that's you're building her willing because she's doing hopscotch. She's putting on one leg and moving it and dancing there, turning here. All the willing activities are happening, right? And she's making friends. That can be played solo, also can be played with friends also. So show her hopscotch, show her running and catching. Ask your friend, can we play running and catching? Can we do this? Or there's no place, can we play imaginative games then? Let's make a castle. You make your castle. I'm making my castle. Okay, there's a monster. I'm the monster castle. I'm gonna come because she's anyway 6'7", so you can evoke some emotions, good and bad, evil ones, right? And I'm coming. Make one small stick as a horse, and the knight is coming on the horse, coming to attack your castle, and this and that. Yeah. So you could do those kind of things just to give a little bit of help, and then she will probably take off after a few weeks. Yeah.
Yes, Kel.
Anything else?
Nothing
Okay.
for now.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. Keep working on it. Keep asking questions. Keep making notes. Then it becomes your own question bank of when people ask you, you'll have all these things. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll see you on 15th.
Yes, Kel.
Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.